in January. Just got up, which is why my face looks particularly oily. I put oil and face cream on this morning. I was going to go for a run, but I have not an interview, a meeting at 9, and it was raining, and I told my kids I'd take them to school, which I don't normally do. So I had to get up and get dressed, all in black. But yeah, got another busy week, so I will keep you posted. Hi. So instead of going for a run, I'm taking my dog for a long dog walk, and then I thought I could have my phone call meeting whilst I'm out walking the dog. And I'm just slightly scarred by something so disgusting that happened. So basically I said I would take my kids to school in the car, which I never do unless it's pouring with rain, and the weather forecast said it was going to be pouring with rain. So I caved and said, yeah, I'll drive you there. It's about a 40-minute walk for them, 30 minutes. But we live in the centre of town, and I don't really like driving them because I kind of feel like that was the whole point of us moving to town. Well, not the whole point, but a massive bonus was that they could walk themselves to school. So I very rarely drive them. But anyway, over the Christmas period, and I don't really use my car that much, got inside my car this morning with the kids, and there was mould everywhere. It was disgusting. It was fully disgusting. There was like mould on the seat belts, mould on the seats. There's obviously some leak in it somewhere because the inside windscreen is really moist, hence the mould. It's absolutely disgusting. So they moaned and whinged. I didn't want to take them anyway, and basically made me super cross because now I'm going to have to spend a very small free part of my day-to-day probably clearing up mould, booking it into a garage to get whatever is causing the leak fixed, to then have it ready to sell, because I just don't think I need a car of that size when I'm in town. But yeah, it's disgusting. I feel like I've got mould growing on me now. Such a grotty day again, and I've got a really long day in the office doing cat return stuff, so wish us luck. Just on our way to get some coffee. Coffee shop's closed, so I'm gonna have to go back there in a little bit once I've got set up. I don't know about you guys, but anything to do with finance and money scares the crap out of me, so I'm so glad I have somebody who's helping me, because otherwise I would literally be in tears right now. Taken my kids to school in the pouring rain. I did drive them out in my mouldy car. But yeah, we've got a really full-on day today. The accountant's coming and is going to go through ways in which to do stuff. And it's really funny because I talked about this quite a lot on Instagram, and the reaction I had from people was basically like, how do you do that? Like asking me, how, when are you meant to do that? What's this for? Why do you need to do that? Like, I don't know. This is the thing, I am literally learning on the go, and I said to Isabel when we were going over bookkeeping stuff that this feels like it really shows my underbelly. I have like zero confidence in myself to do this on my own. So the finance side, but also I just feel like this isn't talked enough about. And I feel like at school, yes, if you did business studies, you sort of touch on it. I didn't do economics, so maybe that is, but all the people I know who are sort of starting off their small businesses, I mean, 90% of them just are in the same boat as me and are completely clueless as to what you need to do and when, and how much you need to put aside for this, like how do you account for this, do you put you know, what do you categorize like this type of marketing for? Like, it's all just a bit scary. So wish me luck today. So it's Tuesday after work. We had a really long day with the accountant, and basically Isabel was amazing and asked all these questions that I just wouldn't even know to ask. And once he left, we were chatting, and then basically we're like, you know, when you just know that it's like if you have people to stay and you end up staying up chatting, and then you're basically like, everybody wants to go to bed, but you don't want to be the first one to say it's time for bed. So we just both were like, should we just go home, like just hit the wall? So yeah, and I've got loads of orders to send out, which is amazing. And just hit 7,000 followers on Instagram yesterday, which I know is not a huge amount really for a brand, but I started that account basically when my company was sort of became registered, so it was like the beginning of June, and I left my job to focus on it. So, and I wanted to sort of grow that and keep Pre-Loved Edit going. So it's been quite a big achievement. I also think like post-COVID, so hard now to gain that following. And people don't really talk about this. This is something that I also find that small businesses don't talk about, is basically like paid ads on social media. So it kind of goes like this, like where people are like, no, you shouldn't pay for ads, but then you see those same people like having paid ads. And you always need to, obviously, like your organic customers are the most important, and it's so important to me that they feel that the customer service is like top, and it makes them want to come back and shop with me. It really gives me a sense of pride. That does. It's the most important thing to me, other than the quality of the knitwear. Those two things combined are like my why, which is, if you haven't read it, or you normally have the book, oh, it's this book here, I'll get it and show you. I'm sure loads of you have already read this and you're like, God, late to the programme, which I know I am, but I found it such an amazing book. It was such an amazing book to really like be able to vocalise what the drive and ethos and passion is behind my brand, but also about being a good leader within your business. And I think I also read it whilst someone else was being my boss, so it was just literally like what not to do. But anyway, basically loads of people obviously have paid ads to broaden their reach. And I think like one of my regrets with Pre-Loved Edit is literally just that I didn't start it earlier. So I kind of started it just towards the end of like the second lockdown, whereas I feel like brands that establish themselves at the beginning of lockdown gained that following without, like, I spoke to somebody she's really sweet, and she's got a like crochet brand. I think she's got like 60,000 followers, and she said to me over the beginning of lockdown that she literally was getting like thousands of followers a day. And she just sort of chatted like I am now, like she's got a really good sense of like her brand message is really strong, and she had like really cool photos of people wearing her stuff. But yeah, I feel like now post-COVID, it's hard. It's definitely harder, and it's a harder slog to gain that following. But I also think like when you put the effort in and your customers are engaging on a daily basis, you know, 7,000 engaged actual customers is obviously a lot better than 50,000 that you've kind of paid for and maybe less engaged. But anyway, it was a big achievement for me and the brand. So we've extended the sale but until Friday as one of the thank yous. And the other thank you is I was going to show a sneak peek of the new, either a new design or a new colourway, but the only pictures I've got are like not very sexy ones. And I get that like loads of people can look past that, but I also feel like when I like sneak a peek of a design, I like to do it so secretly that I almost just have a photo of me wearing it and don't really say anything and see what the reaction is. And it's such a good way to like measure people's kind of, not subconscious, but like a subconscious reaction. It's not like I'm saying, hey, what do you think of this? It's my new design, where people will probably just say, yeah, it's nice, because they want to be polite. I feel like if you drop it in and don't say what it is, I did that with the first Feel Good. I put a photo of, I think I was like, it was me in the street, and it was like a reflection of me in a shop window, and I was wearing it, and I didn't see what it was, and I had so many messages being like, oh my god, is that a jumper that you're going to be selling on Pre-Loved Edit? And I just wanted to be like, no, it's my first jumper, but it was a secret, and I was like wanting to keep it a secret, but also it was just like that confidence I needed to sort of make that first investment into starting the brand. But anyway, I'm like kind of in my leisure, not in my gym jams, I'm in like my comfies, and we're about to have dinner. Just painted my nails like a blue, which my sister had her nails painted in this colour, and I basically just copied her because we're sisters. But yeah, I don't normally paint my nails, but I just thought, I feel like it, the weather's been crap and it feels really grey and miserable, so a bit of colour. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, happy hump day. I am just about to pack up some more orders this afternoon. I've just been out on my lunch break and it is literally pouring. But yeah, actually it's so nice and warm in my office that on days like this, if I'm here and I've like got loads of stuff to get on with, it's actually a really nice feeling, because I'm completely on my own now, and it just means I can kind of crack on uninterrupted and just get on with stuff. So it's going to be quite a satisfying afternoon, I think. I've got a to-do list I'm working through for today, but there are just so many orders that need to go out, and Tia was here this morning helping me pack orders, which is amazing. And then I've got some Pre-Loved Edit work to do. I'm going to be interviewing a couple of small businesses who I'm going to profile, which is going to be part of my small business Saturday, which I'm really looking forward to doing, although I'm not quite sure how the format's going to work, because I want to interview them, but then I was like, oh, I'll have to like voice record it whilst I'm on the phone and then jot it down and write it out. There must be a quicker way of doing it. Thing is, with small businesses, obviously I'm not included in this because I realised quite early on it is important. I think it's important to be show your customers who you are, so you sort of gain trust. But I know it's so hard for so many people to put themselves in front of the camera, and I think loads of small businesses really struggle with it. So I know lots of people won't want to be interviewed like on a Zoom call or whatever, which I totally get. So I thought a phone interview would be good and have it written up, but I'm just thinking to write up, because I like to waffle, and I think to write that up it's just going to take a lot of time. So I need to look into a sort of a quick way of doing that. But yeah, I just think you can be really anonymous about it when you are from a city, but being in a small brands, if you are based in a small town, I think there is such an element of what people will think that kind of hinders your progress, which is a massive thing. That's not a small thing. It literally can be like the make or break of a brand if you really feel that you can't put yourself out there because of what people might think. It obviously is an issue. It's an issue that has to be dealt with, and I don't mean dealt with as in you have to put yourself in front of the camera, but there are ways around it. So yeah, that's my job for this afternoon, other than just waffling. But wish me luck with my packing. just been to get Aurora's braces tightened, so as a treat I said that we would pop into the outlet village, and because it's a weekday morning there's literally nobody here. Not the place to go if you've just had your brace tightened. Oh my god, look at those massive things. Marshmallow. Oh my god. Going for an early morning run. Morning. It's Friday. Just on a little dog walk.